Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Norvia and thank you for watching. On today's video, I want to share some information about my personal lock journey. I hope my experience can offer some insight and inspiration. Let's dive in. So I began my lock journey January 5th, 2020. So prior to my lock journey, I had been natural for about 5 to 6 years. There was nothing wrong with the natural process. I personally just got a little frustrated with always keeping my hair styled, always trying to find protective styles, and then just trying to style my hair in between those protective styles. So I decided December of 2019 to kind of start looking around for some Microlocs. My son had been locked, and I actually liked the way he was able to manage his locks. So like I said, December 2019, I started looking on YouTube, Instagram, looking for inspiration for Microlocs. I knew I did not want the traditional locks. A lot of people refer to them as dreadlocks. I just did not want the thickness of those particular locks. I wanted something a little smaller. I wanted something that resembled micro braids. I love the look of micro braids, the small boxes that micro braids create. So I started to dig a little further and look into Microlocs. So I saw a number of photos, videos about the Microloc process. I noticed that a lot of Microlocs, look different. Of course, it depends on hair texture, hair length, things like that. So I decided to go with Microlocs. I chose a photo for my inspiration for my Microlocs, and if I have it, I'll post it here on the screen so you get an idea of what I was inspired by in regards to my Microlocs. So January 5th, 2020 is when I started my lock journey. I started out with 500 Microlocs. The process took about 14 hours. So I'll actually insert a photo of my before when I was sitting in the chair with my beautician, and this is the after she completed the Microlocs. I always get asked, do I have sister lock? I'm not very knowledgeable about sister locks. I do know that sister locks, there's a special training that goes into sister locks in regards to the technique, grids, things like that. Also, cost and time are a little different compared to Microlocs. So I know I didn't want to invest that kind of time, but I still wanted, sort of the same look. So I went ahead with Microlocs. So like I said, I started with 500 Microlocs. It was a 14-hour process. Again, these are photos from beginning of the process to the end of the process. So that's how my Microloc journey started. So I'll actually insert a photo here of the day after the installation, which was January 6th. So here you can see I have some grids. It was given thin. The locks themselves were given thin. I know a lot of people call this the awkward phase. I don't know. I just knew I liked what it looked like. So with the day after, the locks were soft. Well, the starter locks were soft, manageable. For some reason with my hair texture, it started to create a curl pattern. But like I said before, everyone has different hair texture. I don't know what my hair texture is for B, C, D, F, G. I don't know. I just never really invested in categorizing my hair. That may have been, why I struggled with the natural hair journey before getting my Microloc. A month into my lock journey, and my locks are actually starting to swell up a little bit. The ends are starting to curl a little more. I'll insert a photo here of what my hair looked like a month and 2 weeks after the installation. So as you can see, like I said, my hair kind of started to swell up a little bit. At this phase, it was, for me personally, it was a little difficult to style, only because I didn't really know what I was looking for in regards to a style. So after playing around with it, I just decided to just wear it down and wear it back. I didn't want to put any tension on my scalp or anything like that. Okay, so now we're in March, and again, this is back in 2020. So March is when we're really starting the pandemic. It's really starting to pick up. I was able to get my hair retwisted right before things were shut down. So what you see here is a picture of the back of my hair after a retwist in March. So we're now looking at almost 3 months into the lock process. That next week would have been my 3-month mark. Again, my curls are really starting to take form. You really start to see the definition in my curls. Again, my go-to style was just to wear it down, back. I didn't want to manipulate the hair much. Again, I didn't want any tension on my roots. So that's why I just decided to wear it down. And so we're going to fast forward to May of 2020. Again, my hair has started to swell up again. And that's one thing I noticed about my lock journey. My hair would stretch and then it would just swell back up. So when I look at the pictures of my process, my lock journey looks so different throughout the process. So I'll insert a picture here of what my May and June look like. So at this point, we're 4 to 5 months in the lock process. This is still the first year. Just giving you an idea of what your hair, how it's going to change, especially within that first year. So again, this is what my hair looks like May and June of 2020. Again, you notice the change in curl pattern. So what I would do to kind of manage my hair during this time, I would oil my scalp with black castor oil, and then I would actually just spray it with rosemary water. And I would actually make my own rosemary water. Rosemary leaves, put it in a pot with some water. I'll put mine on medium until it came to a boil. Once it started to come to a boil, I'll actually turn it off and I would actually let the rosemary leaves just sit in the hot water while it cools. And then I would know my rosemary water was where I needed to be based on the color. I always felt like the darker the rosemary water, the better it would be for my hair. So from June up into October, there were a lot of things happening. I lost my aunt to COVID. I lost my mom to COVID. So having the energy just to get my hair done. Then again, remember, a lot of things are still shut down. So from June to October, it was just a lot going on. So I did not have my hair retwisted at all during that time. And I don't even recall taking any photos during that time because, like I said, that time was it was a lot. It was a lot going on. So I finally was able to get my hair retwisted again in October. And then I'll insert a picture here of what my hair looked like when I got my retwist in October. So now we're 10 months into the process. So at this point, you notice I have extremely tight curls, but my hair looks fuller. So apparently the fullness of the hair was making it appear as though it was a little more fluffed out, which is really the look I was going for in regards to the photo that I used for my inspiration. We're at December of 2020. I am 11 months into my process and I just had another retwist. So this is what my hair looks like at that 11-month process. Again, curl pattern, distinctive curl pattern, especially on the ends of my locks. Again, because I don't want to put any tension on my scalp at the roots, I just decided to wear my hair down. So with me getting my hair retwisted in December, there was no need for me to get my hair retwisted on the anniversary month, January. So now I'm a year in my locks. I'm loving the process. Of course, you have those moments where you're like, I can't do anything with my hair. But then again, me personally, I didn't want to manipulate or, put tension on my scalp, my roots, things like that, because I was still learning about the lock process. So my next retwist comes March of 2021. I believe I actually got my hair detoxed during this time as well. So I've now decided I get my hair detoxed once a year. It's usually around the anniversary of my locks. But remember, I didn't get my retwist in January because I gotten it in December. So I had a detox and retwist in March. And this is what my hair looked like. Also, don't mind the picture. My face is a little swollen there because I had just gotten a dimpleplasty procedure. Like I said, the hair, of course, the curls are still defined. Curls, moisturize, things like that. And again, my procedure to keep my hair soft and manageable and hydrated was to put the black castor oil, and I may have only put black castor oil in my hair maybe twice a week, if that, and then I would spray my hair with the rosemary water every morning. Take my bonnet off. I would actually shake my hair out, detangle it with my fingers just by running it through like that, and then take the rosemary water and just spray it in and shake it, and I would actually kind of massage some of that rosemary water into my scalp, and I would just go about my day. Simple. So here's another picture from March of 2021 where I actually decided to put my hair up, and as you can see, if you look at the perimeter of my head, it's giving micro braids, and that's the look I was going for. This is actually one of my go-to styles, just wearing my hair, well, it was then, just wearing my hair up, and you really just see the curls. If someone was not close enough to me, they would not actually notice I had Microlocs because of the curl pattern my hair created. So let's jump into the next month, where I decided to experiment with a little bit of color. I've done some research in regards to dyeing locks, and I noticed a lot of people kind of discourage you actually dyeing your locks. So I decided to just try hair paint, hair wax, color paint, or whatever it is. So you'll see in this photo here, I did try to have a little fun with my locks, add some color. Of course, everything is kind of, you know, pushed in, a lot of shrinkage, but the locks held the hair wax very well. The only thing I don't like about hair wax, which I probably won't use hair wax anymore, of course wax, it leaves a waxy feel on your hair, and it takes a while to wash hair wax out of your locks. That's just my experience. It just took me a while to wash that hair wax out, to the point where when I went back for a retwist, there was still hair wax in my hair. The beautician was able to get the rest of that wax out. Now, in regards to washing my hair, I rarely touch my hair because I didn't want to cause any damage to my hair. So I would break my hair up into sections, maybe 6 sections at a time, and actually wash that section, detangle that section, and condition that section, and twist that section back up, and I'll do it all over my hair. From there, I would blow dry my hair, but with a hooded blow dryer, the little hood things that connect to your handheld blow dryer, just so that air isn't going all over the place, and so that the heat can go directly to my hair, especially my scalp, because I wanted to make sure everything was dry. And then of course, after I would wash my hair, condition my hair, I would go in with my black castor oil to my scalp. Because I've moisturized my hair with the conditioner and everything, I did not have to do the rosemary water, because again, the hair was already moisturized, especially from the conditioner and the oil. So moving forward, of course, May 2021, I started to have a little more fun with my hair, started to actually try to style my hair. You can start to see where the new growth starts to come in. I personally don't like the way my locks look when I need a retwist. That's just me. In my 4 years, I still don't really like it. So, but obviously, you know, you have to do what you have to do to kind of manage that look, or to kind of mask it a little bit. Again, this is me. So during this time, I would actually wear my hair in more updos to kind of mask the need for a retwist at my perimeter. So you can see here in May, I would do the ninja buns with the back down, or I would just put it all up in a ponytail and just have it like a pineapple, that pineapple style we used to wear, just so that I'm able to kind of mask the need for a new growth. I'm sorry, so that I can kind of mask the need for a retwist. So like I said, I did a lot of masking of my hair from May to June. Just like I said, I was just self-conscious about the look of needing a retwist. So June 2021, we're a year and a half in the process, and I've had my retwist. As you can see, I have a little more stretch in my locks. I'm able to kind of manipulate the hair a little more, and with manipulation, it looks fuller. One thing about me, even to this day, 4.5 years later, I have a very difficult time styling my hair, because to me, it's a lot of hair. So at this time, because I'm still just a year and a half in the process, it's easy for me to put my hair into the 2 ponytails, as you can see on the photo. And again, that's okay with me because the perimeter of my hair, I had just gotten a retwist, so it didn't look, but you'll also see how quickly my hair grows, because from June, when I got my retwist, to July, you can start to see the new growth again, actually with the same style. And I'm actually looking at a photo here, but I'll actually put the photo somewhere on the screen. I'll actually put both up. From June just to July, I already had so much new growth. So again, trying to manipulate the hair, and curl pattern is there, definition is there. Just, you know, just at this point, just trying to maintain the locks. So my next retwist was October of 2021, as photoed here. With this retwist, you really start to see some of the length come in now. I noticed, you know, throughout my journey, retwist would really create shrinkage for me where you couldn't see the length. Nothing like it is now. Now with the retwist, you can really see my length. Of course, within a couple of weeks now of a retwist, my hair would then, you know, the shrinkage comes back. But as I mentioned before, this is a picture from October after a retwist. And then later that year in December, start to actually now become a little more comfortable with the look of needing a retwist. It actually makes, personally for me, it makes my roots look fuller. So here's a photo of me in December where I clearly need a retwist, but it gives the locks a specific type of look. I'm really starting to now embrace the look of not having a retwist. Although that was something I had been self-conscious about, it's something that I started to learn to enjoy. So we are now 2 years into my Microloc journey. Photo here is from February 2022, just right after the 2-year mark. So with this date, I did get a detox and a retwist. So as I mentioned before, I usually try to get my hair detox once a year, and I usually try to get that detox around the anniversary, so that is easier to remember. So as I mentioned, this is now in my 2-year mark. The hair again looks full. The retwist, of course, with my retwist then I was getting shrinkage, but I guess, you know, the process looked different for everybody. Everything is not going to be the same in the process. So I just, you know, I'm continuing to still embrace the changes that come with my hair. We're here in May of 2022, where, of course, I'm starting to really embrace the look of not having my hair retwisted. So at this time, I actually started to spread out the amount of time I get my hair retwisted. I believe when I initially started, I would get my hair retwisted every 8 weeks, except for, of course, when COVID shut things down, I had to go a little longer than the 8 weeks I wanted to. But I believe at this time, I am now pushing every 2 to 3 months getting my hair retwisted, so that I have more time to embrace that no retwist look. Again, just photos of me in June and July, 2.5 years into my journey. Again, I am spreading my retwist out a little further. I am now getting my hair retwisted maybe every 2 to 3 months. I am now starting to really embrace the no retwist look, like the full grown out look, which is actually easier to style in particular styles if you like. Again, like I said, in regards to the no retwist look, I find myself, I've noticed that when I don't have a retwist, the roots create like this volume for me. So it makes certain styles look bigger than life to me. So when I decide to, at least with these photos here, I was, you know, on a trip where, depending on the occasion and what I was wearing, the fullness of the hair worked. And it was giving, you know, carefree. So, like I said, it's different stages to the lock process. You just learn to embrace each stage. With that being said, I did get my next retwist in July of 2022. Again, you start to see some more definition in my hair, more definition in my curls. At this time, I believe we actually started to maybe combine some locks because some locks were thinning out a little bit. It may have been from me putting them up into ponytails. Again, that's why I said I don't really like to mess with my hair, because I don't want to cause any damage to it. So this time, of course, we're still over 175 locks. So as the retwists are, the time frame between retwists, spreading out 2 to 3 months. But I noticed that my new growth is coming back in. My hair is growing at a quicker rate. So here you see a photo of me in September. And again, the fullness is there from all the new growth. But I noticed that my go-to style when it comes to my hair being that full is me just swooping my hair all to one side. Gives it that full look. It also kind of just makes it look a little more neat and presentable. Not saying anything is wrong with your hair in any state, but just for me, it made it more presentable, especially if I was going out somewhere, so that I look a little more together. Okay, so we're at November, December of 2022. So I am now at the end of year 2 of my lock journey. And as you can see, I am embracing, again, the no retwist. Let me change that. I am, of course, embracing the new growth. I'm able to, of course, still manipulate my hair, put it back in a ponytail, put it up in a ponytail. I think one of my favorite styles, especially if I'm dressed up, is to put my hair up in like this, like I mentioned, the pineapple, so that the curls come over the front of my face. That was something I found myself doing a lot of, especially when it was getting closer, especially when the time was getting closer for me to get another retwist. All right, so we're in February 2023. This is now my 3rd year on my lock journey. Of course, detox once a year around my anniversary. So if you can see in the photo, this is what my hair looks like on the day of the retwist, on the day of the detox and retwist. Locks themselves are defined, the curls are there, but then within 2 weeks, we see that, of course, my hair is starting to grow. In this photo here, of course, I've decided to do my hair down. It's more relaxed that way, but you're starting to see the new growth already, which is fine with me. And I have learned to embrace that. I continue to kind of maintain my locks, keeping them moisturized, less tension, at this time, I'm trying to maintain my length, but then again, there's still shrinkage. Also, during this time, I started to notice my hair texture changing a little bit. I didn't really have the tight curls that I always had at the end of my locks. Of course, that was something else you have to, embrace, the changing of the hair pattern. I didn't, there were no chemicals or anything put on my hair. It's just part of the lock process. So if you can see from the photos here from April of 2023, the hair texture, the curls aren't as tight as they were. And again, you start to really see the new growth come in. At this time, my hair is actually more manageable in regards to styling. Like, I didn't feel like I was putting tension on my roots when styling my hair at this time. And as you can see the photo here, as I stated, I was able to kind of style my hair a little more without feeling like I was putting tension on my hair, tension on my scalp. So I was able to put my hair up in high buns. However, I noticed with me, when I do put my hair up into buns, it tends to get heavy for me. Yes, locks are light. Just in this state, they're light, no pressure. But when I put all my hair up into a bun, on me, it just starts to feel a little heavy, to the point where I can't really keep the bun in for so long. Also, to me, I felt like my bun was a little too big. So I would be a little more mindful of when I decided to style my hair this way, just in case I was going someplace and people were going to be sitting behind me, because I did not want my bun to be a distraction, or I didn't want my bun to interfere with anybody else's view of anything. So we're going to jump from April to August. I think during that time I may have had one twist, but this photo in August is likely 2 weeks after a retwist. So again, you're starting to see my locks are a little more defined. The texture again has, changed from when I initially started my lock journey. that's what comes along with your lock journey. Just things changing all the time. So again, I'll post a photo of what my hair looked like in August and what my hair looked like in September of that same year. Again, I'm able to, you know, manipulate my hair a little more without creating so much tension on my roots. Again, I'm starting to embrace, have been embracing the look of needing a retwist but not getting a retwist. So October 2023, we're near the end of the 3-year mark. At this time, I'm actually trying different styles like twist outs. So with this style here in October, it was my first twist out, and I actually love the way my hair turned out. I love the look it gave. You can see the waves of from the twist out. But for me, I felt like with my twist out, it dried my hair out a little bit. So in this photo, I just felt like my hair looked a little drier than usual. But then again, the twist out did give me the stretching that I needed to add the length back to my hair. Well, not so much add the length back, but to kind of see what the length of my hair was. Because during this time, of course, I'm still dealing with the shrinkage every now and then. But me doing the twist out on my hair is it's probably one of my favorite styles. And then with my twist out, I just do, of course, rosemary water, and I'll do like some setting spray. And then, of course, twist. Well, a braid out. I would section the hair off into different sections, braid my hair with the setting spray or mousse, rosemary water. My hair is not wet when I do this, but it is damp. I braid it, and I actually let my hair sit in that state, braided, for about 3 or 4 days. To me, I just found that my hair tends to, the style tends to stay a little longer if I let my hair stay braided for about 3 or 4 days and then unravel those braids. So we're at December 2023, the end of my 3-year journey. I am actually experimenting with more styles. So I actually start to incorporate flexi rods into my styles in order to give me a different type of curl so that I could start to style my hair a little differently. Of course, I'm able to still pull my hair up with no issue. Of course, I can only leave it up like in a bun for a couple of hours because for me, I feel like it feels heavy on my head. Of course, with the flex rod, I would actually do this the same way I did the twist out or braid out. Take pieces of the hair, dry hair, but then saturate the hair with, of course, my rosemary water, and the setting spray or mousse, and then of course wrap it around the flexi rod. I will actually try to leave flexi rods in overnight because it doesn't take as long as a braid out to kind of hold the style. So as you can see in this photo here, of course my hair is up. The flexi rod did what it needed to do for the pieces that I left out. So again, I'm in the process of trying to experiment with different ways to style my hair. We are now in March of 2024. We are now past our 4-year anniversary. Of course, March is when I get my detox retwist. So as you can see here, my hair is actually, you're starting to really see the length in my hair, which I noticed with, so far this year. When I get a retwist, my hair tends to retain its length. It's not, I'm not getting as much shrinkage as I did before. So that's good. At least that's what I enjoy about my hair. So again, this is March, and then if we move over to April, of course, my go-to style, if I'm dressing up for something and I don't really want to manipulate my hair much, just swooping it over. In this photo here, you can see, you can definitely see the length in the hair. This is again a month after my retwist. So like I said, I'm actually retaining my length now after my retwist. Again, my hair looks moisturized. You can actually start to see the curl pattern come back a little bit, and so that brings us to the current state, and so that brings us to the current day. I did get a retwist about 2 weeks ago on my hair, if I can remember. Yeah, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. As you can see, you can still see where the pattern itself is still intact. Like I said, I don't like to say grid because, again, these are not sister locks, these are Microlocs. Again, with this retwist, I did retain length. I'm starting to see some shrinkage now. But this is what the back of it looks like. So with my hair now, I tend to kind of keep my hair a little more protected now. I will actually walk around, I'll keep a bonnet on my hair majority of the time, just to kind of, like I said, for me to keep my hair protected. It also keeps me from having my hair snag on anything. And then again, I work from home, so I don't have to really take my hair out to manipulate it or anything like that to style it. After a retwist, now I usually just keep it just down like this. For me, it's just easier to manage. However, I do notice in the, during the summertime, this hair can get hot. It can get hot. And every, for the past 2 years, I always find myself going into these hotter months trying to figure out if I want to cut my hair off. Which, of course, that's only because of the temperature and how I'm feeling at that moment. But I'm usually able to manage the hair during the hotter months. So I think that's it for my journey. I am now 4.5 years in. I don't know. I see a lot of people on TikTok, specifically talking about combing out their locks. I just feel like, for me, the journey has taught me patience. It's taught me how to embrace different stages of change, because as you can see in a lot of the photos, throughout the 4 years, my hair has drastically changed. If I had to start all the way over, I would do all of this all over again. I appreciate, the freedom of just, taking my bonnet off, shaking my hair, spraying it with some rosemary water, and going about my day. As of right now, the plan is for me to get my hair retwisted every 4 months now. So I got my hair retwisted in May, so I won't get another retwist until September, which is, fine. I tend to kind of spread out the retwist on my hair, just so that I can embrace the new growth more and more. I thought about maybe dyeing my hair, but then again, as I mentioned before, I don't want to deal with any of the negative consequences related to dyeing your hair, like maybe your hair drying out, your hair breaking off, which I know with care that stuff is preventable, but why even put myself in that position in the first place? So that's it for my lock journey so far. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Please like, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I want to retire with my love. See what you